Einstein's definition of madness is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Plan A is plan A, and plan B is do plan A better.
Get the real deal in, mate. Get the real deal, Peaky Blinders.
Imagine me in that Deadpool costume. That latex is doing you any favours, is it?
With the trialist on your thing, you might as well have something on your forehead there. Yes.
It is massive. Do you know when you're on the pitch and it's empty and there's no one in there and your voice is echoing? It's the most eerie, kind of surreal experience ever.
Managers talk about 1%. Like, I will do anything.
Yeah.
It's like people say, would you cheat to win a game of football? See, that's a sticky one for me because I'll do anything to win a game of football.
The kit's gone. What do you mean the kit's gone? He says someone's broke in and they've stole the kit. So, well, what are we going to do? We've got a game in a couple of days. Anyway, he says, I'm going to go get a coffee. He drives over to Starbucks. He calls me again. Cappy, what's the matter? The homeless people got our kids, son. So
There just wasn't big plans.
So Cappy has to goes down under the bridge and gets all our kit back. He comes back with a big bag. With a big bag.
Nice scars.
I've got the kit. So I don't know how he did it, but he got it back.
Ask no questions, I think, in that situation.
Exactly.
And Chris Kamara was like, who's your mum? And I was like, hey, I don't know you that well.
I was down to a camping shop and I bought a two-man tent.
It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
Britain is a decent country. We don't need the ECHR.
Do you think it's losing its identity
slightly?
slightly, though?
That's the real danger.
I think in 20 years it's going to look like a very
That's the real
different
danger,
country.
particularly if you and I aren't breeding
Yeah.
and other people are.
Well, I'll try, Michael. I'll try for the rest
Good,
of the
you've got to breed for Britain.
That's a slogan, isn't it?
Yes, breed for Britain. This is my new slogan. I want the British people to keep breeding. Get out there, you breeders.
Breeders. I'm surely you've been involved in some top secret information, so I love this. You was in the government for many, many years.
And in the Whip's office for 7 years.
Yeah. So surely let's talk about secret missions, let's talk about aliens, let's talk about all this geeky stuff.
Right, I can't talk about secret missions in government. What I can talk about is secret missions before I became an MP.
Okay.
Because I've talked about it elsewhere, so sod it, I will do it. One of my clients was Radio Moscow World Service. This was in the days of the Soviet Union.
Wow.
And I remember going into the first meeting, and there were all these Russian guys in suits from Radio Moscow, and there was a translator, and, trying to say, well, you should use, a balanced microphone with an XLR connector. She couldn't translate it. I can't blame her. Why should she be able to translate an XLR connector? I mean, most people wouldn't know what an XLR connector is anyway. And then this lad walks in. I say lad, a guy in his late 20s, early 30s, wearing jeans, wearing sort of like a sweatshirt, looking really cool and spoke very good English. And he said, I'll do the translation. And he turned out to be head of radio studio planning, Radio Moscow. His father had won in the Second World War the Red Banner Award, in other words, like the Victoria Cross. Yeah. So he was what they used to call one of the nomenclatura, one of the named ones who would get fast promotion, that family, So his name, I won't say because we're going out, but I'll say his first name was Boris.
Yeah.
Boris Viktorovich, and then his surname. And he and I became quite friendly. And at the end of it all, I was there for a week, he said, right, we'll get you a present. It's our tradition, we give you a present. And he said, we'll get you some Berioshka dolls. So these are these wooden dolls that all fit into each other.
Yeah, I love them.
And I said, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't mind my being rude, I've actually got those already.
Yeah.
Could I have something else? And he said, yeah, well, what?
One of these?
Yes, exactly one of those.
Yeah.
So he says, maybe we should show.
I get it, yeah.
Bring it down. Causing mayhem here. Now, this is one of the dolls. And they open up. And they get smaller and smaller and smaller. I won't do it now. But I've got one with the Tsar as one at the top, as the one who is the smallest.
Yeah.
And I've got Gorbachev, who was then the president of the Soviet Union. This is before Russia. This is in the days of communist Soviet Union when I was there. Let's put that down. And I said, no, what I tell you what I'd like is an army hat. So he said, okay, we can get you an army hat. Now, it's not like nowadays where you can buy these Russian bits of uniform. This was when it was the Soviet Union, Sovietsky Soyuz. And, you know, you couldn't buy their bits of uniform. It was very, very strict. It was...
I bet you know a Soviet Union song as well, don't you?
Yes, but I'm not going to sing it. Anyways, cut long story short, we went to a shop where they were selling Army and Navy stuff. And we went up and I chose just a private's hat, brown hat with a red band, you know. And he said, fine, let me get that for you. And it was very cheap, like 40 kopecks, which in English money would have been about 35 pence.
Yeah.
And he said, this woman saying, I'm not going to serve it to you. He says it in Russian. Ty nie ruski, ty nie sowiecki, on angliski ili amerikanski. You're not a Russian soldier, you're an Englishman or an American. So Boris says, okay, just sell it to me. And she goes in Russian, well, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And he said, just sell it to me. And she goes, no. So he then pulls out of his inside pocket a card. And she goes white. And she goes into the back room and comes out, not with the hat that I'd chosen, but a hat with a blue band and some scrambled eggs, some gold on the peak. And he said, I don't want that one, I want the other one. Now, I knew that that was a hat, that was the uniform of the KGB, KGB,
Yeah.
Committee for State Security.
Yeah.
So we're walking out of this place. She wrapped up this thing in brown paper and string, really old-fashioned. And we're walking out, and I said to him, you know, well, what was that card you showed her? And he said, it was just my Radio Moscow ID card. I said, no, it wasn't. I've got a Radio Moscow ID card. It was different. And he went, yeah, well. And I don't know what possessed me, but I just lunged inside his jacket, pulled it out, and he was a colonel, lieutenant colonel in the KGB. And he said, I always remember he said to me, that is so rude, taking the thing out of his pocket. He said, let's go for a drink and we'll talk. And went for a drink. And he said, look, I'm not a spy, but I'm in a KGB signals regiment. And
wasn't you scared at this point? Didn't you think you was going to get took down an alley and killed?
No.
No.
Because I did much more later on. Anyway, so that was that.
Yeah.
Went back to England. Then the second time I was in Moscow, I'm with him, and he's taking me for a drive. And there were these Russian peasants pulling up turnips or potatoes in the drizzle, just by hand.
Yeah.
And he said, look, happy socialist workers in communist paradise. And I thought, yes, he's
different times.
Different time. He's a cynical guy. He
Different
was making fun of the system. And when I came back, I spoke to the same MP that I had spoken to all those years ago when I was doing the Uganda contract. And I said, look, I think this guy is a KGB signals officer. I wonder whether we can turn him.
Wow.
So I then had a meeting in London with some very shrewd people, from a British government agency. And I went back a couple of times, and there's more stories to do with that. However, I then had a guy come up to me and said, "We know what you are up to. You will leave the Soviet Union within 24 hours, or we're going to place you under arrest." And one of the reasons why I'm so loyal to British Airways is they got me out.
That was the one time they got somebody out.
They actually got me out, and some poor British businessman who'd got his ticket, it was a full plane, was bumped off.
Really?
And I never forget, I was sitting in row 2 or row 3 in, oops, I keep banging on mic,
okay.
row 2 or row 3 in business class, and we're flying, and after about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, the pilot came out, British Airways pilot, and he sort of went up to me and he said, "I just thought you would like to know we are now flying over NATO airspace."
Wow. And
Because
did you feel relaxed?
he knew.
What do you mean bumped off? You took his seat or somebody?
Took his. They told him that his ticket wasn't correct,
Yeah.
which was, of course, a lie.
Yeah.
But to get me out, and BA do this. They move SAS people around on missions as well.
So have you had much involvement with the special services in the United Kingdom?
Not since, no.
No. And is that a good thing?
I was very gung-ho. You know, when you're in your 30s, you do silly things.
It's
brave.
exciting stuff.
It's exciting stuff.
Look at James Bond, what he's done for the country.
Yes, absolutely.
He jumped out of a plane with the Queen, didn't he, at one point? Do you remember that?
I do.
Let's go to the to the Wembley fight. As I was saying before you come in, I was doing my research and I seen the Guy Ritchie promo video.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, this is like a Hollywood director. And there's Tyler Denny in a tyre on fire. Talk me through that.
That was unreal. That was. We had well, just before that, I had a fight in June against Felix Cash, and I beat him. Defended the European title against him, and that was on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, they asked me potentially about Sunday. Yeah, on the Sunday, I got a call about, would you fight Amjad Shiraz at Wembley Stadium? I was like, fucking hell. That was the day after. I had nothing about it beforehand. I was like, yeah, of course I would. And then,
See, how does boxing work? What do you mean you just got a call? Is that like your promoter?
yeah, my manager rang me to say, people are like this, would you be up for that? Like, I mean, he didn't even have to ask me, but he asked to ask me by just his job. I was like, of course I would. But then we never heard nothing Monday. And then I was like, and I had done doing a press conference on Wednesday, so I thought, I don't think this is happening. Then I went down to Sky, I was on Sky Sports News on a Tuesday doing studio thing, and they was asking about, is this true? I was like, listen, I've heard nothing about it. Then on the train on the way back, we talks about this and that, see if it was happening. And I was in bed on Tuesday night, and then I got a call off him like 10:30 at night saying, yeah, fight's done. We got to be in London 11 o'clock in the morning. I was thinking, fucking hell. Wow. It's mad.
Yeah.
And then, so it was like a few weeks after that, they said they got this promo thing. And it's mad actually, because it had to do two things. One was on fire, and then when you got out of that, you was like,
what you mean when you got out of that?
Well, so everyone had their own thing. There was in trouble, and I was happening on fire. To just hop across, I lift the tyre off, and I was ready.
One actually on fire, that was it?
No, it was just all. It was just
green
screen
stuff.
Yeah, but I got soaked though because they had like a finger coming across. And I got soaked once, and I was thinking, "Fucking hell, I'm soaked." He's like, "Yeah, we had to do it again about 7 times." I was like shivering.
He directing you then?
Yeah, guy was shivering that way. It's mad because then he walked in at the end. He said, "Fucking fantastic." And I was like,
so it was like your shot, your setup.
Yeah, he's just like just you on your own with like on your own. There's about like 30 camera crew in there. It was wild. And was there like all day really, and he had a stunt double and everything. I don't think he looked much like me, but like it was good. The proper looked after you. Do you know what I mean? I think
it's like a day of filming because
but we had 2 days to go back again and do a boxing thing. And so once you got out of that, I had to fight someone in the ring. And this guy is an actor, but he said it. I used to do amateur boxing. He said, just hit me 100% shots to the body, but then just do about 60% to the head. And I was looking at the gloves. You've only got small gloves on. I said, no, I can't do that. Do you know what I mean? He said, no, it's got to look real. So I says, whatever then. So So I was going and I whacked him. Obviously, he's meant to go to the floor, but he's gone, so he's banged his head off the floor. And then we've had to leave him with everybody paramedic for half an hour. And the paramedic, he's like a bit concussed and that. And they said, if anything changes in half an hour, make sure you come back to me. And I felt really bad for him then, but he told me to whack him. Well, it was just, it was surreal day.
Your acting debut, you knocked somebody else.
Well, yeah. That's what it told me to do, but
Yeah.
it was good though. Well, it was good for me. I had so much room.
I think it's Stephen Fry. He was like, how can there be a God when there's child suffering, when there's war, when there's poverty?
See, that question always takes me by surprise because I feel like it's the most obvious one, but it's the one that everyone comes back to. And I'm like, isn't it obvious? I'm like, because there's a devil as well. Like, if you believe in a God, you believe in the devil. And also, I watched a really incredible film called The Shack the other night that explains suffering. And it's like kind of like...
What's that called again?
The Shack. You've got to watch it.
What's
so
that on?
a guy, Prime. So
Oh,
a guy, actually, his daughter gets kidnapped by a
Yeah.
paedophile and killed. Like, awful. Awful, awful, awful.
Yeah.
And he, like, obviously he has lost touch with his faith, but he meets God as the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And
As a person, as a being.
as a person on earth, like in his depression, like really incredible film.
Yeah.
And apparently the book's even better. I'm going to get the book, but it goes into a little bit into suffering. It's like, as long as there's an evil force in this world, because as soon as, Adam ate that apple, sin. We're born sinners. We're all sinners. Why we needed Jesus. It's why we need a saviour, because we are sinners. As soon as this evil force took over, and God gives us free will, this is the thing. God doesn't want to control us and say, you have to love me. You have to worship me. That's not love. That's control. God wants to give us the choice. It's free will. And because people have got free will, they will do evil things. God lets people have that choice. So he will be there with us, whether people want to believe it or not, through any suffering and through any pain. He's there.
And he will forgive.
Because I've felt him. Forgive who?
Forgive people for the sins, for what they've done wrong.
That's why Jesus died for us.
Yeah, to show us that it can happen.
But you've got to, believe in Jesus. You've got to believe in what he did for us. And the 10 Commandments are still there, but Jesus came to say, listen, you're all taking it a bit too religious now.
Yeah.
All I want you to do is love me, love God, and love your neighbour. So basically covers the 10 Commandments, because it's just about being a better person.
But
being
I'm
a good
like that
person.
anyway. So do I need... Is it because I'm not connected and I haven't felt him? Or, like I said, I've always had that moral compass. I call it moral compass and integrity. But I believe in faith and energy and belief. Like I say, the night my mum passed, like me, my son, my brother, we was all in the room and we felt her go. Yeah. We knew when she was there and we felt her go, and it was powerful stuff. And I was like, I know I'm going to be all right. Like, I actually physically felt it. And then, it's everyone's nightmare, isn't it, seeing your parent or your child after they've passed. But there was no connection then for me, because that wasn't my mum. She wasn't there. That was just a vessel.
Yeah,
and I felt that, and my son felt it. And it was a calling card as well. So she was ill for a long time. And then on the night she passed, I didn't have my son. My son turned up at 10 to 8. My brother turned up at 5 to 8. And my mum left at 10 past 8. And it's like, you couldn't make it up. It's like she waited.
Yeah.
It's the day after my birthday. She waited. She didn't want to do it on my birthday. And it was the day after, and I just thought it was powerful. Like, you couldn't make it up. Like, there was no guesswork to it, without want of a better word. It felt like it was divine, which is a strange way to put it.
But yes, you do. You said you do good things, right? You said, I feel like I've got a moral compass. But the Bible clearly states that we don't get into heaven through work, so it doesn't matter how good. Because all of us sin. We're all going to sin. Have you had a lustful thought? Have you told a lie? Have you gossiped?
What's classed as a lustful thought?
Like a naughty thought. Have you gossiped? That's all a sin.
Gossip's a sin.
Yeah, of course. You shouldn't be gossiping about people,
I'm
speaking
going
bad.
to hell.
No, you're not, though, because if you believe in Jesus...
I don't gossip. No, I don't gossip.
So basically we don't get into, so we cannot physically get into heaven through works, because none of us are going if that's the case. You don't matter how many times you read your Bible, don't matter how many times you get to church. We get in through our faith, through a belief in God, because we believe in him, we love him,
Right,
we've got a
okay.
relationship with him.
Yeah.
That's how we get in. So yes, you believe you're a good person, but the other commandment that Jesus gave us out of the two was love me, love God.
He said that.
Yes, love
It's a
thy
bit needy,
and
isn't
love
it?
thy neighbour. Not really, because he loves us just as much as we love him.
Yeah, but wanting us to love him, it's a bit needy.
No, because
It's a bit clingy.
It makes
Only
you...
joking, by the way.
Loving God means you do what he created us to do. You abide by him. You listen to him. And this is the thing as well. With a relationship with God, you can understand what he wants you to do. He can guide you through your life. You can hear him. You can feel him.
But if you call, like an English Romany, has different heritage to an Irish traveller.
Yeah.
But I got a bit of all in me, to be honest with you.
Can you imagine, yeah?
Both sides.
You get round a bit.
But, I was reared with my mother's people, so I take more from my mother.
Yeah.
My grandfather's an Irish baby, through and through. But he just ended up in the circus because that's where the work was, that's where the job was, do you know what I mean?
What did you say they did again, your mum?
My grandfather was a strong man.
Yeah.
And a balancing actor, all that.
Yeah.
And my mother did trapeze and slack wire and all that kind of thing.
But did you have a stint as well, or not? Did you travel in a circus?
Well, I did a different kind of circus. I used to work at a club in London called Circle of Soir,
right?
Which is a VIP high end
Suave, yeah.
In Soho, and they had some of the best international circus people performing there on a regular basis. And I had a regular gig there on a Monday night and a Wednesday night, and whatever Saturdays if I just turned up, I'd have the job.
Yeah.
But I toured all over the world.
Yeah.
With that particular club. They opened a place up in Dubai. I think they were in Shanghai as well. They had a club over there. But I ended up meeting some of the best circus performers you could ever meet in your life. And it's funny how it worked out.
Yeah.
Because I never intended to do that.
Yeah.
It's just a gig come up, and I had a snare drum and a trumpet, and I ended up becoming like the ringmaster.
Yeah.
Hence the Grandmaster Ash thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd lead the troupe, get on the mic, do all the stick tricks with the snare drum and play the trumpet and improvise the jazz licks over all the house stuff, and then get the champagne, pour all the bottles of champagne on the snare drum.
That's why I asked the question, like the musician or the entertainer thing, and I think they go hand in hand, because you said he's not ego, he's clearly not, but watching you command the stage over the years, it's impressive. And you've got to be more than a musician to do that.
I've never ever thought about it, I've just done it.
Yeah.
Just I've never analysed what I do or thought, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I've just done it. Whatever I've done, it's just been a matter of like, I'm just going to do this. And thankfully it's worked, It's like I never intended to go and play with a load of circus performers or even play with DJs or anything like that. It's just I kind of fell into it. The DJ thing was to earn a few quid, And I thought to myself, well, when the regular gig finishes at like 10 or 11 o'clock, these clubs are open till 2 or 3 in the morning.
No brainer, yeah.
And I remember I saw a percussionist in Warsaw, Magoo they used to call him, and he used to play. And I remember I went into the club the one night and I saw a fella, Magoo, playing the congas in the club. I thought, I could do that. So thank you, Magoo, for the inspiration. And then before you know it, I just put the black onto a promoter the one night. Went up to the door. I said, I'm a percussionist. Who's the fella that's doing the night here?
Yeah.
I could turn your night around, blah, blah, blah. And sold myself. And the fella said, all right then, no problem. We'll book you next Wednesday.
I think, when you get in the middle of the dance floor and you've got the snare there and you've got the crowd around and you've got the water or the champagne on it, and then you do a trick where you use one of the sticks to play the other stick.
Yeah. Or balanced on me ear and all that.
Yeah. And I've been in there and I'm looking around at people and they're like, it's something they've never seen before. Very impressive.
Yeah. I still do a bit of that now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I can't help myself.
That was a pretty tough period in your life, wasn't it? And it's something you carry with you. But again, through our conversations leading up to this, what's blown my mind is how you turn it into a positive and use it to strengthen your side and strengthen yourself off the pitch, pushing forward. And just going back, you touched on it. Your brother came to your game once, and I think you had a tough few years, didn't you, after that whole period of time?
Yeah, I think, do you know what, at the time I never realised it, but when I kind of reflect now and I look, I think that was probably the end of me as a player.
Really?
I do, honestly, yeah. And I was very young still, but yeah, my brother had come down to watch a game on his motorbike.
Yeah.
He's
that wasn't Scunthorpe, was it?
No, I was playing for Dover in the National League.
Dover, yeah, that's it.
But he lived in Scunthorpe.
Yeah.
Real, kind of strange story in many ways. My dad always come to every game. He'd never miss a game. He would drive from Scunthorpe to Dover. He'd drive everywhere to watch me play.
What journey is that? What time?
Oh, it's 4 hour. 4 hours.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd always come. Anyway, I rang him on the Friday. I said, you come in? He said, yeah, but he said, I'm not not sure how I'm getting there yet. He said, me car's packed up, and he said, I'm coming. I'll find a way. I was thinking, what's he going to do here? Like, is he going to get the train or what, you know? And next day, Saturday morning before the game, they turn up at my house on a motorbike. My brother had this big, powerful road bike.
Yeah.
And my dad come on the back of him. And cut long story short, we go to the game in my car. We leave the bike at my house, play the game. And a friend of mine, Alan Nichols, was...
The keeper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was on trial at Gillingham. Real strange, this. We were playing Stalybridge Celtic.
Oh, right, okay.
And Tony Pulis was the manager at Gillingham. And Tony had said to Alan, do you want to play for Stalybridge? They've turned up, or they're travelling down south without a goalkeeper. They'll give you, a couple of £100 for playing. So he said yes. So he played in this game against me this day, and he was living with me in this house. Anyway, kind of move it on a little bit. I didn't want my dad to drive to ride home on the back of my brother's motorbike all the way home. So I said, well, I'll take the car. We'll go back to Scunthorpe for the weekend. And Alan said, I'll come with you. We'll have a weekend in Scunthorpe. No problem. So we set off. I'm driving. It's my dad's birthday as well, by the way.
And how was the game?
I think we lost 3-2, and I got sent off actually in the game, so it was a bad day.
He was one of them, yeah.
Anyway, we get heading north, and it was just it's very, very weird. I remember Alan saying to me, we went through Dartford Tunnel, and my brother went flying past,
Yeah.
It was a big, powerful, road bike, and the noise it made as it went past was just incredible, which kind of got us talking about motorbikes. And Alan turned around and he said, I'll never get on a motorbike again. He said, I went through Birmingham city centre once on the back of my mate's bike. He said, it frightened the life out of me. He said, so I'll never go there again. I'm not even joking you. An hour and a half later, we stop at Peterborough, just short of Norman Cross roundabout, which was then. It's kind of all changed now. And my brother flashed his lights behind me, and we pulled in this garage. I said, you all right? He said, yeah, I need to put a bit of petrol in my bike. Put a bit of petrol in. Then we went round the back of the petrol station, and my brother said, I just want to have a quick fag. So my dad gets out, and there's a fag with my brother, and then Alan gets out. He used to smoke as well. So we're all toughing away. And then I said to my brother, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm just bored.
Yeah.
Following you at 70 mile an hour is just boring the life out of me.
He's a speed demon.
Yeah, so he wanted to go fast. So Alan turned around and said, well, I'll get on the back of you.
Yeah.
So I just turned around to Alan and said, well, you just said you'd never get on the back of a bike. So we're only going 70 mile an hour behind you. It's not a problem. Anyway, cut a long story short, me and my dad gets going in the car, and that's the last I saw of them. Hour and a half later, 2 hours later, we were literally identifying both bodies in Peterborough General Hospital. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
We just could not believe what just happened. It was awful. I mean, yeah, it just changed my life, really, and
it's a bit.
And we had to drive back home to Scunthorpe to tell my mum, to tell his girlfriend. He had, a daughter, Kaylee. She was only 3 at the time. She's now 31, 32 now, and it was just awful. It just changed everything. My dad was never the same. Just changed everything. Yeah, it was a really tough period, and I never realised until I reflect on it now how tough that was on me. Because you're in it, and I was young, and I felt invincible. But when I look back, I think that really did affect me. But probably only realise it kind of now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You've been through a lot, haven't you? And it's that reflection time. I mean, just on that story, my mum and dad were motorbikers. That's how they met. I mean, they were the honeymoon was at the TT Isle of Man race.
Yeah.
But my mum made me promise her one thing. She says, never do an Ouija board, never ride a motorbike.
Yeah.
And she lost many friends on motorbikes. But you live the life you love, don't you? It was my brother. Their eyes light up. when it comes to the motorbiking, you can't take that away from him.
No, he just lived for it. He just lived for it. That was what his passion was. His passion was motorbikes. His passion was, I'm not just talking about road bikes. He had motocrossers. He just had scramblers. He had everything. He just loved it. It was his life.
He hit your dad hard.
Yeah, my dad was never the same after that. It was only, I think, 7 years after that, my dad passed away. My dad was only 56 when he died.
Really?
And I felt that really affected him. He was never the same. Christmases, everything was just not a nice feeling. Do you know what I mean? He just wasn't the same.
No. Just life is short and precious, isn't it? And it was in any moment for any of us, it can be taken away.
Yeah, it was his birth. Like I say, it was his birthday as well. So he then never wanted to celebrate his birthday. And when people sent him cards, he'd throw them in the bin. It was just horrible.
Yeah,
it's awful, really.
I think it's one of the hardest things, isn't it? Once you have felt it, and I think that's where, as a coach, it enables me to feel it from a different angle. It's not the same. It's not the same as playing. Never gonna be. But I'm still able to, feel those emotions. And
I miss that
that feeling.
Physical exhaustion, after a game.
Yeah.
And it's like that negative energy, or everything's left your body. Nothing else matters for that 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what do I do to replace that?
Yeah. It's a question I'm sure many people have, and it's one of the hardest questions. And you see people go into depression, you see people gamble, you see people because they're chasing that emotion, they're chasing that feeling. And it's one of the hardest things to control. And I think as an industry, football can do a better job.
Yeah.
I see they help the young players, they help, they're trying to give more help to young players, more tools for
grassroots.
Yeah, but what about, which is great, that's brilliant, don't get me wrong, but what about the player that comes out the game at 36, 37, 35, whatever that is, who've been in the game for 20 years, who don't necessarily have an education? What about them?
Yeah.
It's just the same, So I think the industry has to do a better job in preparing people for the next phase. And I know the FA are doing an awful lot, which is great. I think we have to continue to do that because there's a lot of good people that have been footballers and they come out of it and, what's next?
And sometimes there is a lack of education aspect. But I mean, I work for a good company now, and they talk about transferable skills.
Yeah.
And they always say, I'd have an ex-pro footballer or semi-pro footballer every day of the week within my company because I know that they come with these transferable skills which they've picked up over the years, where they can pivot, where they understand high-pressure situations.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest worry coming out the pro game when I joined the corporate world.
Yeah.
Going to an office, I thought, I'm going to be behind everybody else.
Right.
I'm not going to be up to their standard. And I got into it and I thought, wow, I'm operating at such a quicker frequency, higher frequency than some of these folk. And I just think it put me in good stead to transition.
100%. There's no job in the world that has the pressures and the ruthlessness of being a professional footballer or a professional manager.
Yeah.
And so that's why you probably felt, okay, I'm in a decent spot.
Yeah.
And I think the more people that are aware of that, the better they will feel when they come out of the game.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like it. It's the most ruthless industry in the world.
It really is. Idolise anyone before you got in the ring? Did you watch someone and say, I want to do that? When was that moment when you thought, I want to do that?
Watching the big guys, because I've always been big anyway. I mean, I was 21 stone when I played football.
Yeah.
So
same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I've always been big. Since I packed up, I lost 16 and a half stone.
Yeah. When?
Since I finished wrestling properly.
Really?
1994, I was 36 stone.
Really?
Yep.
36 stone?
Yep.
Wow. I think Eddie Hall, who won Strongman, was only 26.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's something I don't think I've ever heard of anyone that heavy.
Stacks for 42. It made me look it was like putting you at the side of me.
Wow.
when I stood at the side of
Will's
Stacks.
just said, what did you think when Stacks went to WCW?
I thought he'd do
42
good.
stone.
I thought he'd do good, but I think they messed him about a lot. And he didn't get the break he should have done, you know. But then he come back and he were ill after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't sound like a good place to be at the time, WCW.
No.
Unless you was a certain person or
That's
certain
right.
individual.
That's right. But
so did you know? So again, Giant Haystacks. You know Giant Haystacks before you got in the ring, because he was a Tamworth lad as well, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Originally, he was Irish. He come from Ireland.
Yeah.
Originally, but he used to drive machines and dumpers.
Oh, okay.
And that.
I thought you were going to say. My mum used to say she used to love going watching Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks, and she said she used to see him in a Reliant Robin driving about.
Yeah,
no,
probably.
whether she was lying.
He had He had some different cars.
She loved the story. She was a biker, my mum was, and she'd loved the wrestling back in the day.
He had some cars and he wrote some off
because he couldn't fit in them.
Not that he'd fall asleep. With his size, he'd just fall asleep. He'd be in mid-sentence and he'd be start snoring, and he was driving. So
how did you get that big, both of you? I mean, you're a monster.
He was a giant.
Yeah,
he was a giant. You could tell by his eyes, his forehead, and that he was a proper giant. Me, it were eating the wrong things.
Yeah.
You see, when you wrestled, you finished 10 o'clock. The only thing open is either fish and chip shop, kebabs, or Chinese. You get that, you travel in 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
You get home, straight into bed. You weren't working it off.
Yeah.
And it just piled on and piled on and piled on.
Vicious cycle then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Joe Lycett, you've mentioned.
Yeah. Love Joe.
Yeah, but apart from, who else?
He gave me a good bit of advice once, Joe, and it's always stuck in my ear. Because I've always been a bit impatient with me writing. Like, I think if it ain't good straight away, I'll just do something else. And I was backstage with him at Katie Fitzgerald's in Stairbridge. He just popped in to do some warm-up stuff, like try out some new stuff. And I think I was drinking again. And I said to him, Joe, I said, what do you reckon writing? I said, because look, I've always thought a joke is like a fart. If you have to try too hard, it's probably shit. and he turned round in his very gentle manner and said, or a really, really good fart. And I thought that's just gold, man. And I kept that with me. Yeah. I work a bit harder now. Right, if I get to a wall, I think
push through it.
Push through it.
You said you worked at a football club.
Yeah, I used to work at Man City.
And you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Do the rest of the Liverpool fans know this or what?
I don't know, but like I made sure I'd left it a mess when I left. I was there for like 6 years. I was the binman there.
Oh, right.
Because like, obviously leaving uni 2015, you obviously like, I'm in the real world now. I can't just like do comedy straight away. And I worked for an agency in Manchester, and then we started doing shifts at the Etihad, where it was like turning the stadium back round after a match. And I actually enjoyed it. I love to be in, like, obviously I love football. Like, I just like absolutely love it. And to work in a football stadium, regardless of it being Liverpool, City, United, anyway, I was like, I'm in like the middle of this. So I started working there, and then I got like kind of pally with one of the assistant managers on the company. Like, it was like a cleaning firm, OCS, if you've heard of him. And then I said, like, I'd love to work here full time, or just in general be on your books. Yeah. So I did that. 2-3 years I was like 0 hour, just doing whatever shifts, and then like the binman's job came up, and they were like, oh, you know how to drive, because like they were basically like, have you got a driver's license? I was like, nah. They went, give me the keys to this truck, and they went, just drive it around the concourse a couple of times, see how you feel. I was like, well, it's only 4 miles an hour, I'm not going to go anywhere. So I just drove it for about half an hour, came back, and I said, it's all right this. He went, start emptying the bins. Nice one. And then I just got that job, and then
like a big bin truck.
No, it's like a electric.
Oh, a little tiny.
Yeah. Like you fit in it, and like when you're driving back, you couldn't beep at people because they're walking the same pace as the truck, so they'd be next to you going, "You beeping at me?" Yeah. I'm like, I can't see him. Keep driving. And It was one of those like little electric tow trucks. It was only like, it must have been like, you sit in it. It's not even that big at all. Like and you just attach bins on. Pardon me. And just, you basically go around the stadium, empty all the bins, get them back in for the next game. But Man City, obviously, over the last like 10 years, they've been so at the top of the game. There's a game every three days. Yeah. So it was like, sometimes you'd work like 12 to 15 days straight, 12, 15 hours a day.
Just you get to watch the games or not?
Luckily, I just got very lucky when the games were on. I used to work in one of the suites. And like the chairman's suite it was, so you'd see like ex-footballers.
The chairman's suite.
Yeah. I know. I'm there like I just sit in a big chair like and go. Don't need cleaning this, mate.
Luckily, I'm in the chairman's suite watching the game.
Yeah. Boss is like, what are you doing? I used to like smash through my jobs just so I could stand on the terrace because it was dead quiet where I worked during match day. I could just watch the game, and it was like I was like in like 2016, 17 when Pep came. They basically like built a 2-floor different suite. It was called Tunnel Club. Well, it's there now, and it's like basically the players walk through it when they get off the coach, so you get to see it all in like up close basically. And it was good because it was like after the game you'd clean the changing rooms and that, and you'd see all players. Just see Pep go in his office, like that, sit in Pep's chair like that. You do this over there. You go down now. Yeah, it's all right, this, isn't it? Oh, yeah, Pep's back. Get up, like that, do some work. But, yeah, it was a good laugh.
Taking the bins out.
Oh, yeah.
You ever give him advice?
You want that bin empty, Pep? We need everything down, Karl, come on. It's like 4-4-2. Fucking Jesus Christ.
But you did it to the best of your ability, didn't you, if he was telling you to do
all about
something?
The consistency, the ability to shine, progress, and really go forward. Not just as a comedian, as a binman. Get the bins out there, smash them out, get back home and just make a brew and go, smash that, babe. You want a brew? Yeah. Get another brew on there, babe.
We had a joke in football. It was like, you can only give 110%. It's a game of two halves. All the cliches.
Yeah, I was going to say that in the change room. Like,
that was the most awkward thing in football. You do an huddle before the games, and the captain say, "Right, lads," and it'd be like the most generic speech. And some of them are you're just looking at each other.
I was going to say, just going.
It's awkward. Come on, then, let's do it.
I'll never forget Gerrard's after Norwich. 2014 when ironically he said like, this does not fucking slip now, boys, this does not slip.
Couldn't make that up, could you?
No, honestly. And I was just like, obviously it's to like United fans and everyone, like, you kind of like look back and go way whatever, but like genuinely just felt sorry because he's like the reason I fell in love with Liverpool and football in general was Gerrard. Like watching him like grow up, I was like, and it was gutting not to see him win the Premier League, but it's football, isn't it?
What a shock moment that is.
I couldn't believe it. I was at my mum's watching that game, that Chelsea game.
Yeah.
I came back out. I was at uni at the time, and I was like, I'll come back for the weekend. And like I mentioned, all three of my brothers are United fans, and I never sank into a chair more when he slipped, and I was like, oh my God.
Like, I love football in general, but like you've just said, like I don't really enjoy watching football unless it's a Premier League.
You love playing?
Yeah, I love playing. I love playing.
Yeah.
So when you're on the bench, like, and you go in. I've worked all week at the gym just to prepare myself for this game, and then you're not playing. Like, it just deflates you, and then I can understand it from a manager's point of view. They're going, "Oh, we need good attitudes and stuff," but it's so hard when you love playing football, and you've prepared all week, and you're not playing, and I don't understand how you're meant to feel.
It's a mindset thing, isn't it? Because I was never happy, and I fell out with managers because I didn't want to sit on the bench. And it creates drama. But like the Manchester City number 3, he's getting paid well. But he knows his job. Yeah. And that's his job. But when you're preparing physically and mentally for a game and then you're not playing and then you see 3 crosses go to the back stick and no one's there.
Yeah.
You're thinking, fucking
that's me. Yeah, I totally understand. It's like when players are losing tackles and then they lead to goals and you're going, that don't happen if I'm on the pitch. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's so disheartening, like you say, because I love football, and it is. You just get worked up for the game, and then all of a sudden, like someone else is playing. You're going, like, what am I meant to do now?
I haven't had many good communicators as managers. I'd throw a couple of names in the hat, and they're from like Lee Sinner to give me my pro, and then I went to Alty with him, and Charlie Blakenmore from Chasetown back in the day, who's doing well in the business world now, and it's obvious why, because he's a good communicator.
Yeah.
Like it's not a hard conversation to have. Look, I'm leaving you out today and this is why.
Like, you're still a weapon for me. I'm still going to utilise you.
Yeah.
But managers just don't have those conversations, whether they feel awkward to have them.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be a manager. You need to manage those 20-plus players, everyone individually, and they don't.
Yeah. See, sometimes I'm like, if I'm not playing, in that moment of you not picking me, I probably don't want to talk to you until after the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm angry. And whatever I say, I probably don't mean. But I still think I should be playing.
And I think that's the mentality.
Do you know what I mean? So it's him telling you why he's doing it, and it's you telling him why you think he's wrong. So you come to like, you don't come to an agreement anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't mind managers not talking to me. It's when the explanation after it is not really good enough.
It's just a sellout explanation.
Yeah, but managers are always right.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's their final decision.
Yeah.
And they don't pick a team to lose a game of football.
Yeah.
So as a player, you have to accept it.
But yeah, you just forget. It's like watching Love Island. You just forget that they're naked.
To be fair, a lot of people who I've spoke to who watched the show have said like similar things. They were like, at first it felt like they felt a bit weird watching it, and they felt a bit like seedy kind of thing. And they said like as soon as you kind of get to know everyone's personality, it's like you literally forget everyone's naked. It's like someone will walk in and be like, "What are you watching here?" And you're like, "Oh, everyone's naked." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you literally just becomes normal.
So there's not any awkwardness at all.
Nah, like,
I see when you like, you know, you do the bro handshakes and you pull each other in, and like
it's a shoulder. It's a shoulder. It's a shoulder. It's never a chest to chest. It's always there.
So you're always aware then.
Oh, yeah, I'm a shoulder man in there, but it's a bit. I'll probably say the only like awkward bit is when you're introducing yourself, like you said, like giving people hugs and that, which we normally do. Like you're hugging the girls, and you like because they're naked, you kind of like hugging them like sideways and that. But nah, like literally, you get used to it so quick.
So how did you get paired up then? What was that process like?
So basically, as you go on in the process, people get voted out, this, that, and the other, and like you get chosen to go. Like people, so one day they might go, Jono, over the tannoy. They'll be like, Jono, you're going on a date. Pick who you want to go on a date with. You'll pick whoever.
What do you mean over the tannoy? Roylands Radio?
Yeah. So over the speakers, you literally hear.
Sounds like it's at a football stadium.
Yeah, it's mad. But like you'll hear your name or someone's name, and they'll be like, "Oh, you've got a date. Who you taking?" Basically, go and ask them, and you kind of you do bits and pieces like that. But you'll get like other people. It'll be their turn. So like say I was with Tegan, for example, a girl called Layla come in.
Yeah.
And they said, Layla, who do you want to go on a date with? And she picked me, and you've got to go. So it's like, that's it. It's like craziness.
Yeah.
But like obviously, towards the end, it was like, you got to write down the person you want to stay like coupled up with for the foreseeable on this piece of paper. And that's how like it was kind of cemented. But up until that point, you kind of you can go and talk to literally anyone and whatever, but you just naturally, once you get to know someone you like, you just end up spending most of your time.
Are they filming all day?
Literally 24/7.
Really?
Yeah, 24/7. No, literally nothing goes unnoticed. Like literally everything.
So you can't have any scratches or anything, or you?
Oh no. To be fair, I think like anything like that, it's just straight to the toilet and the showers. Like
you know, when you're on a first date and you really need to like fart or something. What about that?
Nah,
you can't get away with anything like that. Sneaking away.
There's none of that, man. There's none of that. My first date was in a hot tub as well, so you definitely got no chance. I said, I'll have a ton of jets on in here.
Well, the bubbles are good.
This is a thing with wrestlers, isn't it? Like, I was talking a few weeks back with Mad Dog. And you know the politics of like the handshakes and thank you very much, sir, and nodding your head. Yeah. I get that. I get this paying your dues, paying your respect. But to what stage do you ask advice? So say the Danny McBride. You know, you could say, "Have you got any advice?" Or say when Bram was about the other week. And
so I think it's all about how you ask and when you ask.
Yeah,
you've got to be able to read when someone's busy, when someone's stressed. You know, just read someone in general. Because
it's a skill, though. That is like common sense. Isn't that common?
It's common sense is not that common. So like, if I wanted to ask a veteran wrestler, like, I'm not gonna ask him when he's planning his match. Say I've already had my match. I'm not gonna ask him while he's planning his. Yeah. I may ask him when he's done and waiting around. Did you get a chance to see? He may, yes or no? You got to expect that he may not even seen it. You know what I mean? A lot of times, the vets you want are like, oh man, Latimer's going to be on the show. I really hope he watches my match. You may not be thinking about watching that because he's getting ready for his match. So, but a lot of times you have a lot of veterans that do like to watch the matches because that's an old school thing as well, is we watch the matches ahead of us to know what was already done.
Yeah.
What works, what doesn't work.
If the spots are the same or the same kind of finishes of the same. Yeah.
If someone gets low blowed in the first match and doesn't kick out, and the third match someone does a low blow and he kicks out, I'm sure as hell ain't gonna do a low blow at all in the match. But the second match shouldn't have did it at all.
Yeah.
So, but then again, you shouldn't do a low blow in a wrestling match.
Yeah,
so
it's an interesting point because, like, for armchair wrestling critics like me and Will, we'd notice things like that.
Yeah.
Would say, and it happens on big WWE events still.
Yes.
The match 2 matches ago ended with a small package, and they've just done it the same, or the ref got a knock, fell down, and they've done it again. It's repetitive.
Yes, very repetitive.
I mean, I am a big fan of like self-development and progress, and even if you're an experienced pro, I think you can always learn from the young people, from managers, from your fellow colleagues. You're an experienced wrestler. How many years? 14?
14 years.
14 years. It's amazing.
Yes.
So what are the kind of questions you would ask a fellow legend, or, is that the right term?
No, legend. No, definitely. Like So what would I ask now?
What kind of questions would you ask? Yeah, you're not going to ask how to do a wrist lock, or so if you're asking somebody, will you watch my match?
Yeah.
What could they give you? You've been doing it 14 years. Would they say you're stepping too quick or you step back? Like, I wouldn't know.
So, like, you can always learn something in wrestling. 100%. So 14 years, I'm still learning. So I would probably ask, or what would be good to be told to me is slow down.
Yeah.
I'm still like, you can always slow down. People will listen to your words when you slow down. They, or they'll take the time to do whatever hold, because they got to register it first. If you do, that's why AEW is great, but for me, as a fan, I'm not a fan of AEW. There's no selling in AEW.
Yeah.
This man just got kicked 3 times in the head, and he's still standing. I got kicked 1 time in the head, and I almost blacked out 1 time. So you know what I mean? Like,
it's a spot fest, isn't it?
It's a spot fest. There's no psychology anymore.
Depends what mood you're in. I remember watching a segment with Paul Heyman saying you can put over a headlock, and I think it was when Samoa Joe was looking for a finish, and it was just get him in a headlock. It's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
make him choke out.
I think one of the best endings of a match I've ever seen was William Regal and the Big Show.
Oh,
exactly. Right, exactly.
Will's nodding his head.
Yeah, you already know what I'm talking about. So all right. So it's William Regal had the brass knuckle gimmick.
Yeah.
And he remember he was winning matches with it, defending the title, winning the title, and he's going against Big Show. He takes the brass knuckles out, hits Big Show with it, and Big Show standing up. Big Show hits the ropes. William Regal's on the ground. Big Show just topples over on top of William Regal. Dead weight. William Regal can't kick out. 1, 2, 3. Big Show wins. Like, if someone got punched in the face.
That's what does it for you, a big man falling on top of you.
Yeah, like, because we all know what it's going to feel like. We can all relate to a big man falling on someone like, oh, man, he's crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
I did love, like, the Ric Flair, the Billy Gunn, when they get it and you go down and then they take the thing. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Or they get hit in the nuts. They get someone in the nuts.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Or the Dudley Boys. Yeah.
It's in my DNA now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think I told you off camera. Sorry, I've just knocked that again. I want to put it back just because it bothers me. I told you off camera. I was boozing in Chesley Nye. I was bored. I took the kids out. Did a pub crawl around Willenor. Good dad, I know. We went out for a carvery.
I think I seen your posts when you did this.
We went out for a carvery, and the pub that we went to weren't doing a carvery. I went, kids, you want some scratchings and a pub crawl? They went, yeah. I was like, I love you. Well, we did pub crawl, and I was like, there's no gigs in Willenor. And Yam Yam Elvis?
Yeah.
I love him. And he was in Chesley Nye. Next thing I knew, pissed. I was in an Uber up to Chesley Nye. And to be fair, I will say this, great pub, great staff. I won't name them. Some of the punters in there, I hated. honestly, because I look like this. I got this silly hat on, I got feathers in my ears, but why can't I look like this?
Yeah.
And I got some funny looks off some of them. You say Pratt or whatever, and it bothered me a bit. I thought, I'm a 15 back at school. Grow up.
Was it like an old school pub, or was it one of these new commercialised?
Yeah, Ponners.
Yeah.
Right. But I got chatting at the end to one lad who was actually nice, but I got my back up, so I half insulted him, and he went, "You look like a wrestler." I went, "I am." But then I ended up making friends with him, you know.
Yeah.
It's in my genes now. I can't get away from it.
You drop a promo on him. Do you ever do that?
No,
when you're-
oh yeah, people ask me to do it. I love it. I'll do one now. I love it. Promos are my thing. But yeah, it's sorry to go back. It's in my genes. I dress like this. Like Macho Man's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Look at me. Look at the hair. Look at the beard. But there's also longevity. There's longevity in it. Seriously, think of ZZ Top, right? Think of Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabbath.
Yeah, well, now Jeff Lynne ain't in Sabbath.
No, I'm saying Sabbath
No,
with longevity.
I'm going
Sabbath.
somewhere here.
Oh, go on then.
Jeff Lynne, ZZ Top, Macho Man, right? Beard, sunglasses, hat. You don't age. You only see my cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah? Longevity. I'm being deadly serious. I dye my beard.
No, but I'll say Tony Iommi at
Yeah,
Sabbath.
same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Beard, sunglasses, hat, right? You're ageless. ZZ Top never aged.
I know, yeah.
Jeff Lynne, same thing. He
Was
don't
it
wear a
Slash
hat
as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He don't wear the beard, but he had the stubble.
Yeah.
It makes you
He had his
timeless.
gimmick.
It makes you timeless. Because I'm very aware I'm getting on now. I'm 40, and in wrestling terms, that makes me old. But I ain't never giving up wrestling. So I've got to keep up with 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, 30-year-olds. Fuck them. You know, I'll go to the gym every day, even though I like a drink, right? Yeah, it's true. But I dye my beard, I wear my glasses, I wear my hat, and this look here is ageless. Does that make sense? All you see is my cheeks.
And modesty as well, you got that.
No, that is modest because I'm telling you, I'm covering my faults.
No, but I want to
Does that
touch on
make
that.
sense?
But you
Does
do
that make sense? I
reinvent
am
yourself.
bragging.
You do reinvent yourself,
but
don't
I
you?
am bragging there. I'm telling you how I cover up my faults.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Sorry, go on.
No, but like, so reinventing yourself. So like, whether it's a catchphrase,
yeah,
or whatever, music,
yes,
finishers,
yes, you have to change because, and again, we spoke about this off camera, so I'm sorry if I'm boring you.
No, go for it. So I asked you.
Yeah,
I want it on
nice.
camera.
Nice. A lot of wrestlers, they're here for a hiccup or they're here for a holiday. In these 25 years, I have seen people come and I've seen people go. To the point now, when someone pisses me off, right? When someone pisses me off, I think you'll be gone in a year. You're a punner. And
Can you tell when they walk in or
Fuck
not?
yeah. By the way they breathe, by the way they walk, I can tell. And I used to kick off with them. There's even famous wrestlers. I've gone outside on the garden, you prick, and all this. I could tell you great stories on air or off air, but on air I'd beep the names, like, you know. I've had rows with them. And I'm a lifer. I'm going to be here forever.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, I can tell the ones that will last. But because they're here for 3 years, they have one pair of trunks, one pair of boots, and one look, and that's all of them. But because I've done it 25 years, every 2 or 3 years, I have to change who I am.
Yeah.
Not completely, just a tweak. Just imagine it like a dial, and you turn it 2 degrees, then 2 degrees. Think of Undertaker. First, he wore the grey bits. Then he wore the purple bits.
Yeah.
Then he wore something else. Then he had a cape. Then he had the silly hair. Then he had this.
He had the
then was
phantom mask. He
Yeah,
had the phantom
all
mask
that
on
and
top,
that was because of an injury, but it made him
Yeah.
look different. Then he was the ministry. Then he was a badass. Then he was old school again. Then he had the hat again. Blah, blah. Sorry. He changed all the time. Jericho, you touched on when we were talking off camera. These guys that do it forever, they have to constantly change. And again, they're Champions League on Vauxhall Conference. But my crowd still follow me, everything I do. I told you earlier, I have people that come and watch me now. They were 10 when they first watched me, and now they bring their kids to my shows. I can get boring for them. So I have to change. I mean, we laugh about me pipe. This has become my gimmick because I love Popeye. You know, the feathers in my ear, all of that kind of stuff. Every couple of years, I just get a new thing and drop something else because I have to. Else, oh God, I'll be boring to them and to me. I'll get bored too.
It's infectious as well, just being around you and listening to you talk about it. Like I say, back in the day, I genuinely loved doing it with you.
Yes.
And then when I had a little taste going into my 30s, they like sucked the life out of you. Like every training session, I had to do like 1,000 squats.
Oh,
and then some guy, I won't
that.
mention his name, he was in the WWE
I bet I
training
hate
us.
him. Tell me his name after. I bet I think he's a prick.
Yeah,
I bet
you will.
yeah.
And like he pulls me in the ring in front of everyone. He says, "You come
Chest
here,
you
stand
down.
up." Well, he said, "Have you ever been in a fight, mate?"
Oh, of course.
I fucking grew up in Wolverhampton. son.
Yes!
My brother was fucking
Right
stabbed.
answer.
Yeah.
You know what it is as well, though, because most wrestling fans, most wrestlers who try to get into wrestling, and I don't mean this bad because I'm a nerd, I love Star Wars, I love Star Trek, because the nerds, they try and pick on you. And they think you're a nerd. I am a nerd, but
You
I'm
know
a
what
nerd
they
who's
did?
scrapped
You know what they
'cause-
did?
Go on, sorry.
They got us
Sorry,
all
mate.
around the ring. They made us climb up the turnbuckles and stand on the top and said, "Don't use your hands." I was the
Yeah.
only one who could do it.
The
And
exact-
another guy who
go
was
back to
trained
what-
for 2 years.
Go back to the, have you had a fight, though? How
Yeah.
did he react when you went Corsav, dickhead? How
Oh,
did
he
he react?
started dropping his jiu-jitsu.
Of course
and
he did.
was- yeah.
Yeah, he backtracked.
Yeah.
You know the 1,000 squats thing? That bothers me. I'll go back.
It's just to blow you up,
backtrack.
ain't he?
No, it's not even that. It's tactical.
Yeah.
Right. If I met you do 1,000 squats, right? Easy.
Yeah.
Kills an hour. I'm doing a seminar. I've got to do 3 hours, right? That kills an hour, blowing you up, right? Then I'm going to take you to do a forward roll, but you can't do a forward roll. Guess why you can't do a forward roll? Because you've just done 1,000 squats. So then I can waste 20 minutes teaching you how to do a forward
And
roll
I knew that.
you could have done an hour before,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then I'm going to dress you down because you've done that, because that makes me feel big because I'm a prick and I need to boost my own ego.
Yeah.
I despise that. This is what I say to my trainees, and I do it. I say, we do a 10-minute warm-up, stretch and warm-up, right? So you won't pull a muscle. I don't want you to pull a muscle when you're
That's
training
it.
with me.
Yeah, yeah.
But I tell them this, I've only got 90 minutes, 2 hours. I think 2 hours now. I used to 90 minutes. I've only got 2 hours for you. So I need to teach you as much resting as humanly possible. You're giving me 10 English pounds, right? And that costs most people an hour and a half to make or an hour to make.
Yeah.
I understand real world problems, right? That's an hour of their 40 hours labour they're giving to me. That's a big deal. I'm going to teach you as much professional wrestling as I possibly can for that £10, right? And I say to my trainees, we do a 10, 15-minute warm-up and I teach you how to wrestle. You get fit on your own time. Because if you care about wrestling, you'll get the body, won't you? If you care about wrestling, you'll squat.
You experience something different. The kid will only be 2.
Yeah.
You made some decent money. You come back and
Life's an adventure, really.
you might not want to come back. You just don't know until you've stepped out your little square.
I think it's an adventure, isn't it? And doing something like that, going somewhere. I had the chance before I turned pro to, I think it was North Carolina, and it was digs, it was a car, it was an education, but I was like solely focused on I wanted to play in the Football League. That was my only drive.
Oh, see, I was going to do one of them.
What, with your degree?
Yeah, no, before.
Oh, really?
Was that? I feel like I was maybe first year university. I was working at Waterworld, Lifeguard. Yeah.
The only place in Stoke. Now there's crazy golf as well.
I know, yeah, which is class to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a lifeguard and I was like, this is not for me.
Save anyone's life?
Yeah.
Did you?
When I say save, like they were potentially drowning. Like we had the space ball.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the deepest parts. Someone came down the space ball literally as soon as the little toes touched the water, they're panicking. Shouldn't have been on it in the first place. Had to jump in, do what you got to do.
I'm quality.
Yeah.
Imagine me splashing into that space ball, the water.
Yeah, there was water left. Joking. Yeah, so I'll tell you what it was. This is a funny story. I think I'm allowed to say this. We used to have like events on Waterworld. So you have like your parties and stuff at different nights. You have your aqua disco. And then they have a nudist.
Oh, what?
A nudist night. And literally every person who came to this event, they go everywhere. They go to Alton Towers. This bloke's telling me butt naked what they do. And you just see all these people just come in naked.
So you've got your lifeguard gear on?
I got my lifeguard gear on, sitting on the stool on the beach, watching over the wave pool, seeing a bloke just go straight into the waves, lie there, legs open, waves crashing into him, obviously enjoying the...
Thinking, what is my life?
I was thinking, what's going on here? And then you rotate at everything, and I'm on the slides. And this bloke's come up to me, telling me I should do it. It'd be brilliant. It makes you free. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get out of here.
Insane. I don't think that anything like that could happen again. Like the way everything aligned, and it's the most incredible feeling I've had in football. That 7-0, and then you look back at it and go, we're part of like Bristol Rovers history.
Yeah.
Like that, when Bristol Rovers fans in 40 years' time, they'll talk about that team that went and won 7-0 and that feeling and what we did, like the impossible with it.
That.
And it was, honestly, from where I was kind of a year ago, like looking for a club, to then go and do that was unbelievable.
And from there, I bet you Joey loved you to bits and kept you at the club another 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it was obviously
from that point.
Yeah, so we got promoted that summer. So we got promoted. We flew to Dubai on a Tuesday. We had a few days in Dubai.
Nice.
Chairman obviously got his wallet out, which was very nice. Then came back at my stag do, got married, honeymoon, came back in.
Oh, what amazing time
so yeah,
of your life then.
Unreal summer, yeah. So from there we've obviously got promoted to League One, doing well, really enjoyed, like first sort of stint at League One. So this is 2022, 2017 Conference North, 2022 League One. So kind of obviously with a promotion, so 3 promotions in 4 or 5 years.
Amazing.
And then it's touched on the games that we played in League One, and then towards the end of that season we got to February and he brought in another keeper in the January window. Just said he wanted to improve the position. So Ellery Balcom came in, and what I didn't know at the time was that there was a clause that he had to start the first 3 games of the loan. So I obviously came out the side. Ellery came in. We lost all 3 games, and it was kind of communicated to me that I'd be back in after the 3 games, but he stuck with Ellery for a bit, and then I got put back in a couple of games later. So then played the majority of the rest of that season. We were safe. We stayed up. Then towards the end of the season, he sort of rotated it between me, Ellery, and the young lad, Jed Ward, who will have a really good career in football, a really good guy. And then that summer, obviously, daughter was born, and then came back for pre-season the following year. And we did pre-season, did full pre-season, and then the last week before we played Portsmouth first game of the season, Joey pulled me in and said, look, we're going to bring in Matt Cox from Brentford on loan. So they'd obviously developed some kind of relationship with Brentford and said, look, you've been brilliant for the football club. If you want to leave, you're free to go. Said, look, get yourself close to home. You just had a daughter, etc. So sort of giving me permission to kind of look for other clubs. So I obviously ring my agent and say, look, like, this is what's been told. Like, this is the scenario I've been told I can leave. Can we see what's out there again? The season was starting in 2 days' time. Those slots need to be open. So it's all right at this point. Okay, if you'd have said that at the start of, at the end of the season before, it gives you time to find somewhere. But obviously, Joey's got to look after the club. If he didn't bring anyone in, I'd probably ended up playing.
Yeah.
So my agent actually rang the director of football and said, look, like, what's it going to take to get Belly out? Like, how does the deal look? And I think that was perceived as like my agent ringing up before the first game of the season to say to get Belly out. But I had been told.
Yeah, well, if the manager's telling you one thing.
So I've been told I could leave, and I don't think that sat well with Joey. And then anyway, the following week, anyway, we'd had a couple of chats, and then we got an offer from a League One club. So another League One club came in and said, look, they had an injury. They needed me in like ASAP. So we actually had a game that day. So we were playing Barnsley on the Saturday, and I was due to be on the bench. And this had all happened on the Saturday morning. So they wanted the deal done to have me in on the Monday.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, like, I'll ring Joey, which in hindsight is a mistake. It's a match day. I shouldn't be ringing a gaffer on a match day. Like, hold your hands up there. But he was banned from the stadium, so he wasn't allowed to be at the game. So I thought, I didn't know where he was, like, not seeing him. So just said, look, Gaff, had this offer from this club, and then I don't think the terms of that deal were quite because it was a loan deal.
Yeah.
So I don't think they were covering enough of my wages that Bristol Rovers wanted. So then I think because I rang him on a match day, he told me to just stay away. So so I wasn't on the bench that day.
Firstly, I disagree. Don't put that all that on you. On all that. On
I think
I think it's a bit naughty, and probably because the deal didn't work in their favour.
But I think
clubs and managers always want the best of both worlds sometimes, and it suits them to get you out. But okay, another League One side wants you. Oh, actually, no, he can't go now.
Yeah,
and then make it a little difficult.
Look,
I'm not saying that's what happened in this situation.
I'm saying that that's kind of
what I'd take from that and hold my hands up there. But then, so from then, there was a few articles come out in the press that I'd asked to leave the football club, which, I'd been told I could leave. Yeah. So that's why I was pursuing other options. And then from there, I was kind of ostracised from the group at the training ground. I was like left out of squads.
He doesn't want to be here. He's thinking of himself.
I still had to train with the group because the PFA rules. You had to train with the group.
Was you with the kids or just on the side or?
No, but I was still training with the group. So when I was actually training, I was with the goalkeepers and doing the team stuff and that, etc. Was doing bits with the lads that they needed, but was changing by myself, using separate facilities and stuff. So it was tough. Yeah, it was mentally. It was a really tough kind of 3 or 4 months from things that were going on behind the scenes, the way I was kind of been made to feel.
And becoming a dad and wanting structure in your life and stability.
And being obviously 150 miles away from home.
And then being thrown this curve.
It was tough. Like, there was a lot going on in the way I was treated that I didn't really feel like I deserved after kind of what I've done for the football club over the years. But like you said, in situations like that, emotions run high and stuff. But anyway, came to the end of the window and had a few more offers, but again, nothing that met the terms cause I still had a year at Bristol Rovers that they wanted to accept. But I'm thinking, well, I'm not in any squads. You can get a decent percentage of my wage covered.
Yeah.
The club that I was speaking to was closer to home.
Was you sitting in the stand at this point or not?
No, I wasn't going to games, no. Oh. So wasn't allowed to go to games yet. So then the window closed on the Friday and we had Lincoln at home on the Saturday, and a text went in the group saying like all players to report to the stadium for 1 o'clock or whatever it was. So I texted the guy who sent all those texts and said, look, like, is this kind of, does this include me? Like, and he said, yeah, Gaffer says everyone's there. So then we were on the pitch and we had a meeting, and in front of everyone, Joey just said, look, like, Belly, I know we've had our back and forth, but you're going to be a massive part of this football club going forward, and kind of like flipped it on his head. Like, you know me, I don't hold grudges, and kind of like brought me back into the group. So then I played a Papa John's game on a Tuesday, was back on the bench for the first team, played another Papa John's game, and then I was actually away with my missus and I got a call from my agent saying Forest Green want to take you on an emergency loan. So I was like, yeah, buzzing, like, would want to go out, like, heard good things about Forest Green. Anyway, that deal got done. They were covering a percentage of my wages. I went to Forest Green, got myself away from a situation that I needed to mentally take myself away from.
I don't know much about love, all that shit sent from above. Don't get me wrong, I mean I met a lot of wenches that would be more than friendship, but they just give me the shove. So I think I'm better off alone. I can go out if I want to rock and stop at home. There ain't no point, I'll only end up broken hearted, wishing that I'd never started, so I think I'll just stop on my own. Sometimes it's hard to take, and every now and then me nuts will ache, and I'll think to myself, well I better get a woman and has really got it coming just to give me wrist a break. But I don't know where to start. I ain't that smart and the world has changed and I'm getting old and I never thought I'd ever need to go and pull a tart. I had a gig in Crawley Youth. It wore me best to say the least. Starting saying it was rough, but the crowd had had enough and it was sounding really ugly, so I got out with my teeth. There I was just sitting at the bar, fishnet stockings and a push-up bra. They'd offered me a lift and I thought it was a gift and it'd come in really handy because I'm sorry to drop my car. They said that I'm puddled in you, yeah. I said, come on then, trouble, take me to bed. I started kissing as we reached the door and made the kind of noise that I'd never heard before. I said goodnight and was happy just to leave it, and I just couldn't believe it when I said I wanted more. They led me up to a flat, looked alright outside, had a welcome mat, but it'd have to right to start with, and it's like I'm at market, but I don't have any carpet and I'm sure it smells a cat. They led me up to a back room, they giggled and said this is my dungeon of doom. It'd give me lots of pleasure to tie your hands together with some little bits of leather as I dance around the room. I said okay then, alright then, son, in for the penny, in for the pen, and the face slightly changed and I went all deranged, and before I carried knew it I was bollocksed on the ground. They said that I'm puddled in you, yeah. They said come on then, trouble, take me to bed. She said that she'd like to tease, But I've never seen straps like these, and has got me really stressing because this bench really are messing and has got me bound and guessing what my head's between my knees. I said, whoa, hang about a bit. I just took a little run up and has hit me with a whip, and it really starts to phase me because it's going batshit crazy, and I really am amazed that it hit me on the tip. I got a candle to melt the wax, then I went and let the bugger drip all over me back, and a smile started beaming, but I couldn't help but scream because it was getting really hot and it was dripping down my crack. I've done this before. We ain't got a safe where the court that much more, and I know that I'm in trouble because I've started seeing double and our hands around my windpipe and crawling for the door. I said the jam puddled in your head. I said, come on then, trouble. Take me to bed, release me, Madam Tracy. Arcosi and Arco barely breathe. I said that I'm puddled in your head. I said, come on then, trouble. Take me to bed. I've never seen such filthy scenes. I want to get away, but I couldn't find my jeans. However am I going to make a break for it clean? Had the wallet in the pocket so I wouldn't have the means. I said we could still be friends, but this is where the sex would just have to end. And I know I forget her, and I'm really glad I met her, but I think I slipped the disc. I'll never walk the same again. I said that I'm puddled in your head. I said, come on then, trouble. Take me to bed. There you go.
Yes.
That was
how good was that?
The sexual encounter I had in Cradley Heath.
I was going to ask.